What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are finally here for the UBL Season 3 Round 1 playoff game versus Rewt and his team beat the New Jersey Brobats. This is a rematch game from Week 9 battle of the regular season, where unfortunately back then we did lose to him on a 3-0 fashion, and that was a huge win for him to keep his season alive and make to the playoffs. And here we are, end up having to play him yet again, and hopefully we can redeem ourselves from that week and move on to the semifinals and see that who we would end up facing there if we can beat our opponent this time around, being Rewt in itself. And big shoutouts goes to Automatthic for recording this game for me. Big shoutouts go also to SlackOut for sending my team and providing the graphics for me. That is always a huge help for what he's able to do in that regard for me, which I'm not really able to do myself. And also big thank you to Burn and Skyrander, who provided me a couple of practice battles just to help me out, even though I build on my own, and I usually always have done this, and I don't end up usually do even any kind of like practice battles for myself. This time around I figured that I might as well ask, because I wasn't too sure about certain items or IV spreads or movesets that I was having, because I had a little bit of debate between them. So I figured that I called out to a couple of my friends to give those mock battles, and they did help me out in that regard to have my final decision on those and feel as comfortable with them going to this battle. But if you want to check my team out more in depth and my game plan, how I approach this matchup and what the matchup looked as a whole between our rosters, the team builder video has gone up yesterday, and a link for that should be popping right about now on the top right hand corner of your screen in itself. So if you want to go check it out, it's gonna be there for you available to see, and it's also uploaded on my channel, so you can later on go and check it out as well, because it was uploaded yesterday prior to this one. So it should be relatively easy to find out, or go and find it out yourself in that regard. But regards to the team of 6 that I'm bringing to this matchup, just quickly as a whole, I'm gonna be recapping that we have a dual stab at Tragazi with DrSlaking and holding Hoverberry for the potential Neuver bring. We have a Metal Colt holding a Scissor with Sword Dance and Roost on it, and Knockoff as the other attacking move as a setup threat and a failsafe to certain things like the Nihilego, which was my downfall from last matchup when I didn't bring my Scissor. Then we have Celebi with Light Clay on it and also running Light Screen as a supporting move, and it's also gonna be my Stealth Rocker for this game. We have a Sword Dance, 3 attacks Mega Gallade as a potential breaker and a winning condition besides the Scissor. Then we have Bob the Alola Mark with the standard Figgyberry Recycle set as usual, with Knockoff, Poison Trap and Clear Smoke on it as a tech to eliminate some potential setup threats like Lefable and Necrozma not getting out of control. And then we also have Greninja fully physical attacking set with a Poison MC to be able to kill one of his fairy types if they happen to show up. And he does bring the one that is more threatening versus me, being that Azumarill. And my opponent, besides the Azumarill, what he decided to bring, he also is going to be bringing Serena, Raikou, Nihilego, Spiritomb and the Resistive. And besides the Azumarill as well, which was already mentioned and touched on, that is going to be the team of 6 that we are going to be seeing that my opponent wants to bring for this matchup, and which I have to try to beat down in order to win and move on to the semifinals. So let's go and see how it's going to be turning out. And when it comes to this matchup, I already decided several days beforehand, before knowing what kind of matchup I'm gonna be having exactly. I knew for a fact that if there is one mon that I do not want to lead off this time around, it's gonna be my Celebi, and instead of doing that, I'm gonna try to counter his potential leads to try to predict my Celebi to be a lead that I tend to do often, like I did versus him. So that is why I led with Tragazi. This also covered the potential Raikou lead, just clicking a Volt Switch, so I had a mon in front of it which can take it relatively well and go for a safe Dragon Pulse, cause his fairy type won't be swapping in on that move obviously because I'm a Dragalsi of all things. So he's gonna be going to his resistive after going for the U-turn with this arena, more likely trying to predict the Celebi lead, and that is why I kinda had the mentality of not leading with it, so I'm in a better position of him going for U-turn, which I took relatively well, and that damage output, what he was able to do with this arena, reveals that it's gonna be more likely max attack, but I couldn't tell yet was it Jolly Nature or the Adamant Nature, and I'm suspecting it to be Choice Scarf, because it was Choice Scarf last time, and it was really efficient in that role, which I kinda overlooked on the first time how efficient Serena can be versus me in that specific role. So he brought his Resisteel in, which took the Dragon Pulse very well, was able to gain the health back with the leftovers, final turn to get the Stealth Rocks up, but I brought my Scissor in cause that gave me a free knockoff on whatever he would swap into or eliminate the leftovers on the Resisteel. And for my surprise, he swapped into his Azumarill, which allowed me to knock off his Choice Band on that thing, and that is huge because now the damage output is a lot less with him having the Choice Band on it than not having it anymore, and that helps me a lot for him allowing me to do that. And I was also able to weaken it down further with the Bullet Punch, and then he swapped into his Serena, blocking that because thanks to its ability, but he also gave me a turn. Now we are going for the U-turn versus the Scissor to go for my Roost, and that is very beneficial for me, considering all the things that happened once I got my Scissor in, because I eliminated the Choice Band on the Azumarill, weaken it down like below 40% of health if I just pull it out of my ass, basically what the HP bar looked to be at on it. And then I also was able to gain my health, relatively good amount of health. Now, to be exact, before swapping out into 50% of health to be in a range where my Scissor was left at, and I still was able to eliminate the Resisteel's leftovers on it, which is gonna be slowly but surely making sure that this thing, whatever damaging move it has to take, it's there to stay, and now he cannot recover it back anymore unless he runs Rest on it, for example, as a recovery move in itself, but I don't think it will be having the move slots to do so. So here, as the Alola Mug came in on this Resisteel, which you're gonna be noticing is gonna be my dedicated switching, do that thing to cover the fact that Resisteel doesn't like Thunder Wave, my Greninja or Mega Gallade for example, all my other things would be getting toxic or getting worn down by the Seismic Tosses. My Alola Mug was able to deal with that thing 1v1, and I did go for the Poison Jab in front of the Resisteel because I wanted to ensure that the Azumarill does not come in for free, and now the Spiritomb did come in, but fortunately for me I was able to snatch the poison, and even though the Knocko would have been nice to get rid of its leftovers, the fact that I get that Poison Jab, poison on it, and the regular poison that is gonna be there to stay, that is also huge because I need Spiritomb to be weakened down to the point that Mega Gallade can potentially win, or even Scissor if I'm able to eliminate the Raikou to be his Bullet Punch resist, because Serena I don't really care about even though it's immune to my Bullet Punch, because I have Knocko, I have Roost, I have Sword Dance, that thing is a setup fodder for me if that is his last resort to deal with that thing. So weakening down the Spiritomb is huge in that regard, and now as I brought my Dragalsi in versus the Spiritomb, he made his double into the Resisteel, and that was a scenario that I was like, okay, we are going back into Bob, and the long stalemate between these two blobs right here is gonna be happening. You're gonna be noticing these two are gonna be facing each other in the battlefield several times, and we are gonna be going extensions several times where I go for the Recycle, he goes for the Seismic Toss, Bob is gonna be eating his berry, it's just how it's gonna be. But you know what, Bob has lost his berry two weeks in a row before he's been even able to eat it once. So Bob is gonna be making most out of it this week on this battle when it matters the most, and eat as many berries as he likes. I don't mind it at all, but now I go for the Knocko. When the earlier turns I've been trying to predict this Azumarill to come in, the one time that I don't, of course it comes in. So I don't get that one right when I would have been able to kill it if I would just kept being stubborn and persistent by it, but it's okay because it was already knocked off from the Choice Band, so Celebi can take any one hit, and thankfully he did not try to predict and go for the knockoff, and me losing my Clay on it and revealing what kind of Celebi I could potentially be for him. So on that note, the Azumarill is relatively low, below 20% of health, because he's on red on his HP bar. And now I was able to get my stealth rocks up as he went to his resisteel, took my energy ball prior to that, and reveals to have the hidden power bug on that thing. I don't know if I ever seen a resisteel having to run hidden power bug, but based on how the week 9 battle went versus us, when I brought a substitute Celebi, which was misbred with its HP number, so the seismic tosses did break its sub, but he didn't want to take the chances if I tried to do the same thing and have the proper HP number on it this time around. So he ran a hidden power bug on the resisteel, and it did do decent chunk to me, but I was able to recover it back. And then he revealed his status move being the Toxic and being his last move. So we know his full moveset being Seismic Toss, Stealth Rocks, Hidden Power Bug, and the Toxic. So Bob does not give a damn about any of those moves, so it can just coming on this thing. And the long stalemate between these two is gonna be going once more. I believe these two are gonna be facing each other, or hitting into field to face each other like 3 times. And this is the second time when it's gonna be happening. And now I just go for the recycle. Bob is gonna be eating his berry because he has been hungry and anxious to eat this for a long time. It's been 2 weeks. Imagine being 2 weeks eating your favorite berries. That's where Bob is right now. So you gotta have to give it to him in a sense and give his a chance to eat those up. And I'm giving him the best opportunities to do so, because when you're looking at his team and you look at my Alola Mach, he struggles to kill this thing, barring the Azumarill, which is already super weakened by this point. He does not have any other ways to really deal with it. The other thing that can 1v1 me decently would be the Spiritomb, but now it has to take the Knockoff on the switch. It's already been poisoned by the poison jab, and it doesn't have a form of recovery unless yet again he would run rest on it, which I'm not too sure he has the move slots to do it. And he's gonna be going for the 4-play versus my Alola Mach. I guess predicting a potential switch and just getting a damage guaranteed. And my Dragossi is gonna be able to come in and take that hit. And now I can go for a rest of my own, as he's gonna be swapping out, preserving that thing, being below 20% of health after having to take the knockoff, the couple of rounds of poison, and the stealth rocks chip as well. So that thing is worn down. And that is huge for my Mega Gallade, because Mega Gallade is looking like a huge winning condition when you look at his team. Especially if I get into +2 at any point, or even without it. With Poison Jab, Knockoff and Drain Punch, I can 1v1 his entire team very soon. And the Spiritomb was really the only thing standing in its way until it's been worn down. So him allowing to weaken that thing down is very huge for my late game. What I'm playing towards to, which is to try to win with my Mega Gallade, but also try to keep the other things like my Alola Mach, like my Dragossi and my Scizor as intact as possible. And the other things like Greninja and Celebi are more expendable than the other 4 would be for a potential winning that we are trying to accomplish here. And now the Resisteel will be coming in yet again, and the Alola Mach is gonna be facing it once more, and this is gonna be the third and final stand-up that they're gonna be having. But I believe this is also the longest one, so bear with me as we are gonna be seeing this through, where Seismic Toxic Resisteel is gonna be trying to keep me relatively low with the 50 HP that it's able to do damage with that every single turn with it. But basically what we are trying to do here is that every single time I see a need for going for the recycle, I will go for it. And every single time I find a turn to go for the knockoff, I will go for it. And the beautiful thing for me having those stealth rocks up on his side of the field, and the Azumarill being so low, he cannot swap into that thing for free anymore like he was able to do last time potentially on the knockoff, which he did manage to do one time, but this time around it won't be cutting it, because otherwise he would be dead. So now I'm in a very safe position to play as patiently as I wanted to, or I find it necessary to, and I will do that considering how big of a problem this Alola Mach is to him. So Bob is gonna be doing his best, one by one, just a bit by bit weakening this Resisteel down to the point that it will be going down to the knockoff. And now we do go for it. I could have gone for another recycle, but I figured that it's been long enough and I don't really need to do that lane per se, and there's more likely to be a scenario that I won't be too much of a higher health than I will end up being anyways, and there will be a turn that I can recycle that berry up on my Alola anyways, so I was willing to let that thing just to have my berry eaten by it, just to finish the Resistil off, and then the Azumarill will come in, take one round of Stealth Rocks, and now he's gonna be going for the Liquidation, meaning that my Celebi will eat this hit very easily because of our defensive bulk that we also have, and thanks for him to not to be Choice Banded anymore. And now I do go for the Light Screen, I believe, on this turn, if I remember right. Yeah, we do go for the Light Screen right here. Off the chance, if he would have predicted me go for Recover or Energy Ball and gone into something like a Raikou or Nihilego, I wanted to make sure that I do get the Light Screen up beforehand. And if I do decide to stay in on my Celebi after that, if he would have gone into either of those two, I would get my Mega Gallade in and basically win from there. But he went to his Serena instead, and knowing the fact that he does go for the Rapid Spin, I decided that I'm gonna take that turn to go for the Recover, allow him to Rapid Spin, and then on the following turn I just go for the Stealth Rocks yet again. So in a long-term run, or in like a 3-turn, when you look at in 3 turns, that what he was able to accomplish and what I was able to accomplish, I basically got more out of those turns instead of him, so I'm perfectly fine with this. And now he was able to bring his Raikou versus my Celebi as he was locked into the Rapid Spin, and now he goes for the Signal Beam. And look at this, that did literally nothing to Alola Mark when I have the Light Screen up, and I'm specially booking like Thunderbolts, Signal Beams, you can throw anything at me, but Bob does not give a goddamn, and he's gonna be sitting here, go for the Recycle, have the berry up, which is not gonna be even popped just yet until I swap out and have to take these Stealth Rocks yet again. And I can go for the knockoff once more, and the Serena will be coming in, and this is great, because even though I didn't go for my Poison Jab, I'm able to eliminate this thing's Choice Scarf, which is end up being his item after all, yet again like in week 9. And now I ensure the fact that that thing cannot outpace Greninja or Mega Gallade or anything in that nature from there on out. So Serena has become a lot lesser of a threat because that has been taken down. And now he does go for the Rapid Spin yet again, realizing the fact that if he doesn't do that, Azumarill is basically dead. So I took this opportunity, going to math use the Mega Gallade, Mega Evolve up, take the necessary Stealth Rock chip and Rapid Spin into progress in order that I can finish it off and go for the Drain Punch, and now the Serena is dead. But there is one thing that is gonna be unfortunately going down, which is gonna be the light screens that have been now faded off. So now I decide that because the light screen has been worn down, there is no reason to anticipate to stay in versus this Raikou, when it can potentially still carry like a Shadow Ball on me, or try to go for Volt Switches to weaken me down to the point that Choice Scarf Nihilego can kill me with a Dazzling Gleam, which he did carry versus me last time, and something that I kept in my mind that he could potentially carry on it. So he's gonna be going for the Volt Switch as I go into my Bob the Alola Mark once more, and he's gonna be eating that berry up. He has eaten so many berries, but I don't give a damn. Like, he can eat as many berries as he likes. And he's gonna be going to his Azumarill into progress, which I'm perfectly fine with, because I'm gonna be going into my Celebi, which can't take any one hit from it, as well as a potential Aqua Jet afterwards that, and then we can basically, unless he would have actually gone for knockoff, that could have actually killed me, but thankfully he didn't do that. And because he went for the player off instead of like knockoff in front of my Alola Mark, and when I swapped the Celebi in, that was a turn that I was able to make a decision that either I kill that thing and I don't have the light screen up, or I let Celebi go down like I did. And now I have the light screen up yet again for 8 turns in total, and that is huge because now he doesn't have too much left to be able to kill the Mega Gallade unless he starts getting some unfortunate luck in his way. Besides the fact he's able to snatch up a little bit more chip on me before going down with the Aqua Jet from Azumarill, which still hurt, not gonna lie. It is still huge power. Adamant Azumarill coming into your way with the Aqua Jet is gonna hurt, but we can take it just fine. And now I'm in a position based on what the 3 mons he has left, being the Spiritomb being very worn down, the Raikou and the Nihilego. I'm very free to go for the Drain Punch, because if the Spiritomb comes in, he's gonna stall me out from a 1 turn of light screen, but he's gonna be only able to do that 2 times, and I have enough turns that over than that for the light screens to be out for my Mega Gallade. So I can go for the knockoff on the second consistent turn, either to get rid of Nihilego's item or the Raiku's item if they come in, or finish off the Spiritomb, and then he doesn't have his fighting immunity, and Drain Punch are then completely free versus him, but he does preserve the Spiritomb for now, and now he's gonna be swapping it back yet again as I go for the Drain Punch. Not try to predict this turn, because there's no need of doing that, because the Spiritomb will die regardless, and of the chance he would have stayed in with the Raikou, I would have finished it off with the Drain Punch. You have noticed that he has swapped, like hard swapped instead of going for a Volt Switch, which seems very odd to me, not gonna lie, and for you for sure, considering that Raikou should outspeed Mega Gallade naturally, but you're gonna be able to tell soon enough that why that is the case, that why he's playing like that. But now he goes into his Nihilego, but he doesn't snatch the crit. That I was a little bit feary, but I was, you know what, I believe in you, Matthews. I believe that you're not gonna get credit. You are gonna go for the Drain Punch. You almost gain yourself back to full thanks to Nihilego's huge HP stat, and because we don't have any HP number there, because we want to gain as much of health as possible through the Drain Punches, and that is why you don't run any HP on monsters that you use Drain Punch unless you really need to do that and you haven't nowhere else to fill them in. But because we don't have it, we can gain as much health as possible thanks to our special bulk, thanks to the light screen. We 1v1 Raikou and the Nihilego easily on the late game, and that is good game to Rewt, and we are able to snatch ourselves a 5-4 win in the round 1 playoffs and finish off what we needed to do and accomplish something that we weren't able to do last time versus Rewt, and get the W and move on to the semi-finals. Make sure to check out my opponent. I believe he's gonna be doing a live commentary, so it's gonna be interesting for sure to see from his behalf and the live reactions that he's gonna be obviously having throughout that video. And go and check out his other draft league content that he does. He's relatively active and does a lot of leagues at the same time, and shoutouts to him be able to do that. That's not something I would be able to do, especially in my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in more draft league content, make sure to check him out. Very nice guy, and someone that I would recommend if you kind of want to watch more kind of like a draft league content, and he has a very nice narration to it with the way he talks. So make sure to check him out. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the semi-finals that we go up against either the DyeItTight or GoldoaDragon. I believe between those two, whoever wins, we would have to go up against one of them. So until then, like I said, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next week's semi-finals match, and until then, I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.